Was Bill Gates in tech?
Didn't he create Microsoft?
Is he the one that created Microsoft?
I think. Bill Gates.
Okay, right. Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for tuning in. Are we supposed to look at the camera? We have a camera, and I don't know. Now I'm intimidated. I'm like, am I supposed to look at it?
Where do we usually look? We usually look at each other.
I don't know. I usually look at. I
No,
don't
we're
know what I
usually
look at.
Okay, Chris and I
We're
were gifted we were gifted 2 cameras actually, and judging by the fact that it took us about 5.5 years to figure out how to use one camera, I think we're just gonna do that for now because that was impossible. Actually, I don't know how people expect people to know these things, like how to use these things.
It took us a couple trips to Target, a couple YouTube videos, a couple stubbed toes,
A couple hours, like,
and here we are. So let's get to it.
yeah.
Welcome back. I'm Chris Bruno. I'm here with my friend Cedar, Cedar Champ.
Your friend, your co-host,
Yes,
the love of your life.
exactly.
Hi guys, welcome back to Hot and Bothered. I'm obviously Chris's friend, Cedar. It reminds me of like when lesbian couples are like, "Oh yeah, my roommate."
I did that for a couple of years with my ex to my grandma. I'm like, yeah, my roommate.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I know. I loved it.
Do you want to talk about your earthquake moment?
So today is I'm gonna give it away. You guys know that we record things a little off.
Well, we're recording in advance because I'm gonna be out of town next week, and
Long
so
story
hi
short, today is
girls.
January 1st, and I woke up to an earthquake, and I was like, "This is the best way to start my year. Is just waking up to a chaotic earthquake."
Was it bad?
It wasn't bad, but it was like I feel like there's always earthquakes, and I'm like I didn't feel anything, but like I
Yeah.
literally woke up and my bed was like shaking,
Yeah.
and I was like, I woke up and I was like, this is an earthquake.
This is the first earthquake I've felt. Like I've slept through all the other earthquakes that we've had since I've moved to LA, and this is the first earthquake that I like actually felt. And I woke up and I like didn't open my eyes, but like I was like awake and I was like, is this because sometimes trucks drive past my apartment and my building shudders a little bit, and so I was like, that's all that it is. And then in my sleep thoughts I was like, no, this is like a bit more intense than that.
Like it
And then I
didn't
was
stop for a
like,
while.
oh, maybe it's an earthquake and maybe I should Google if an earthquake just happened. And then I was like, if it's severe enough, it'll wake me up. And I just went back to sleep.
I love that for you.
Did you go back to sleep?
No, because that's about my rising hour
8:30,
when not
unlike mine, noon.
when not working. 8:30 is an appropriate sleep-in time for me.
Yeah, mine is 9, but like I've been waking up randomly at like 7 lately.
I love that for you.
Me too. Okay, Slay. Hi guys. I hope everyone had a really great New Year's Eve. Chris and I didn't. I mean, they weren't bad. They were just like uneventful.
I just went to like too many parties that were too lame.
Yeah. Did you
No.
do that?
Absolutely not.
No, I got really high on mushrooms by myself and watched Saltburn, which was so good. But I know that everyone's already given their 2 cents on Saltburn, and I know I'm really late to the party, but I just wanted to say that like everyone was like so stunned by the shocking scenes in Saltburn, and I was like relatively unimpressed. They could have been more disgusting.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know what I'm gonna get myself
so I'm
into.
not gonna spoil anything. Either I'm sick in the fucking head, or just everybody else is
I
very
mean,
like
maybe it was like
unimaginative.
a lot for like a motion picture, but like not that crazy for like someone like us.
I don't even know if I felt like it was a lot for.
A movie?
Yeah, like I think I've seen worse, but maybe I'm just watching a lot of porn. I don't know.
Probably. It's probably all of the above.
Anyway, Slay. Do we even have anything to talk about
We
today?
really don't have anything to talk about because I feel like the past 2 weeks of our lives have been so uneventful. Just
Yeah.
have been binge eating and partaking in holiday nonsense.
I mean, yeah, like we all know how it goes
Yeah.
around the holidays. It's like you're like in a vortex of just nothingness.
But also like rushing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be kind of bothered this week. I just figured out what I'm gonna be bothered about.
Okay,
Because
can I ask you, are you hot or are you bothered?
I'm bothered because I was kind of like a Grincherella this year for
Were you
Christmas.
really?
I just like was stressed out. I didn't have like the
That's sad.
spirit. I know it was sad and it didn't feel like Christmas. And it was just like, maybe it's because I'm single and I was just like kind of alone when I was like
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it didn't really feel Christmassy. And I never really did anything that was Christmassy.
Yeah.
And usually I'm like, home for the holidays and do stuff with my significant other that's like cute and Christmassy, but just like
Mhm.
nothing. There was no spark of joy for me this year, and
Yeah.
I could have changed that, but I was just like, bitch, I do not have the fucking energy.
Mhm.
So there's that.
My Christmas was like not Christmassy,
Mm-hmm.
but I went to my sister's house and like
Mm-hmm.
she literally lives in a 1 bedroom apartment and we crammed 4 girls in there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my 2 sisters and my mom. And she just moved in, so they're like it's not like she decorated or anything. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like very not Christmassy, but the first night I was there, it was just my one sister and my mom and I, and we were still missing one. But we like got hammered, like
So
got
good.
wine drunk, and then moved the mattress from the bedroom into the living room,
Love doing that.
opened the windows, smoked cigarettes inside,
So
listened to
good.
music. We watched some movies. We had like a full on girl slumber party in the
That's
living
so
room.
cute.
It was actually so
I
fun.
love that.
It was really fun. And like that was honestly like the highlight of my Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, it was like really, really uneventful, other than obviously like, you know what we like to do. A lot
Eat.
of binge eating. So much fucking eating. But yeah.
I love that.
I'm sorry that you like
I'm dressed like an obese truck driver today, so I'm curious to see how this
translates
transfers.
on
Yeah,
video.
translates on video exactly.
And
Um,
I'm just interested to see how anything translates on video since we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, are we even recording? Who knows? Like,
hopefully not.
yeah,
Are
honestly.
you hot or are you bothered this week?
Nice. This episode is going to be 5 minutes
I
long.
know. Okay, are you hot or are you bothered?
um,
I'm ripping my
I'm
pants.
hot this week because I learned, like a new, like, what are you laughing at? I haven't even said anything yet.
Just what is it? I need to know.
I need to go get a pastry. I learned like I learned some sort of like a new cycle. I don't have words today. I did eat some mushroom chocolates this morning, so I'm sorry. I literally am fucking brain dead. I learned a new like psychological hack. As we all know, I'm like always on the defense. I never want to catch feelings for anybody, and if I do catch feelings for somebody, I'm like
You kill yourself immediately.
I must remove this person from my life immediately because there's no way that this is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Every time I've thought that and I didn't remove them from my life immediately, it's never turned out good for me. So, I was texting this boy recently, and this is actually kind of a funny story, and I feel uncomfortable sharing this one. I'm going to share it anyway, just because it's kind of insane. If you guys remember, a handful of months ago, Chris and I went to Spit in My Mouth Man's birthday party. And I must update everyone. We have blocked each other now. Like fully on everything. Text message, Instagram, like everything. We're blocked. Thank God. It took so long. And this has happened over like the past week.
Mm-hmm.
Blocked. Anyway,
Proud
so
of you.
thank you. We were at his birthday party and there was a man there that like low key looked a little bit like
Like
Spit
I
in My Mouth
literally
Man.
thought it was his twin brother. I thought it was his brother.
Chris literally asked me, he's like, is that his brother? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And obviously, Chris being Chris, he gets like 2 drinks in him. He's like the biggest social butterfly anyone has ever met. And he goes, pulls this man, drags him over to me, makes him sit and talk with us for an ungodly amount of time.
He was loving it.
He was. So, anyway, we've jokingly been referring to this man as Spit in My Mouth Man's twin for a while, right?
Literally twin.
So, recently I've been talking to this man a little bit. And it actually like started to trip me out because the way that he talks to me, the memes he sends me, like
It's all the same.
the way he interacts with me, it is the same. Need I mention they had met each other for the very first time that day. They're not related in any way,
I thought
shape, or
that they were
form.
like besties.
They hardly know each other.
Interesting.
And they're the same fucking person. So as one does, this man doesn't live here. And so we're sexting, right? Because that's what you do. And I asked him what he's into sexually, right? The first fucking thing this man says,
Let me spit in your mouth.
I want you to spit in my mouth. And I was like, this cannot be fucking real. This can't be
Too
real.
close to home.
Yeah.
Way
It's
too close to
very,
home.
very, very uncomfortable. Anyway, so obviously, naturally, me being attracted to like the worst kind of men on the face of the earth, I'm like, I have a crush on this man. Like, I have a crush on this man. Like, liking someone is one thing, but having a crush is like full psychological warfare. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
is the worst experience
Mm-hmm.
known to man, the worst and best. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. So, anyway, I'm like kind of starting to develop a little crush on Spit in My Mouth Man number 2. And so naturally, my next thought is
Get rid of him immediately.
I have to block him on everything. But I'm not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that much willpower.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what else can I do? And I've mentioned this before. I've never been one to delete text messages. I have messages in my phone from like 2016. I keep everything. And also why my phone doesn't work because I don't have any storage left on it because I have so many text messages. And I found myself wanting to text this guy. Like after the conversation had died out, he had stopped responding a long time ago, and I wanted to text him again because I want to talk to him. And I was like, no. And I deleted our message thread. I didn't delete his number.
It's kind of an empowering feeling.
It's empowering, but also for some reason, there has to be some sort of weird science or something behind it, which I'm sure no one has done research on because why would you? But there's something about it where like deleting a message thread eliminates the urge to reach out. Like after I delete a message thread, I will not restart the conversation.
Yeah,
They would have to text me in order for there to ever be a conversation again.
I agree.
Even though I'm like sitting there like dying to text this person.
You physically cannot
I
because
just
there's
like
not a thread that's existing in your phone already.
no, but it's like I'm dying to text them and then I delete the thread and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm cured.
Oh.
I'm
Well, I
like,
like that even better.
yeah, I'm like, I never have to text this person again.
Yeah.
No, and it's like I
they're
feel
gone.
1,000 times better. But then when
Yeah.
they text you again for the first time, then you're like, oh, here we are.
Yeah. And then you're like, fuck, I don't know like what we talked about previously to like retrace my steps.
But it like literally doesn't matter. And the thing
Yeah.
about like men that like me usually is that they know that I'm insane.
Mm-hmm.
So if he ever were to reference something that like was in a text previously, I could literally just say I deleted those messages. I don't know what you're talking about. And he would be like, yeah, she's insane. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
1,000%.
So anyway, that is my new superpower. And I recommend everybody do the same. My strategy for like eliminating a man out of my life is muting them on social media so you never see their stories and you never see their posts because it's like you're not thinking about them. Then you open your Instagram and all of
And
a
they're
sudden
there.
their face is like
Yeah.
right there. So you mute them on everything. If you feel like it, you can block them from viewing your stories. I'm not strong enough for that yet. But then delete your message threads and you will live a happy and peaceful life
And
completely
you won't think about
unbothered
them ever again.
from these disgusting men.
How do you feel about men that you like that you just have like a falling out with? How do you feel about them like re-entering? How do you navigate that? Like if say you were talking to a guy and you just stopped
Are you
talking.
asking for a friend?
Yeah. And then they just like reach back out to you. Do you just like pick up where you left off, or are you like, no, don't speak to me? Or like what is your method of communication for a situation like that?
Are you coming to me for relationship advice?
I'm just like trying to make conversation because I don't know what to talk about.
Okay, I don't know. Like, do I like this man? What was our falling out about? Like, I don't know. It's
You
so
don't like him. You don't not
circumstantial.
like him. You're emotionally unavailable, and
And he reaches out first.
yeah, and then you're like, okay, should we just pick up where we left off and act like nothing happened and just convince yourself that
I would probably do that if I'm like
I'm
emotionally
so
detached
bored
from
and
the
I have
situation. I
like
was gonna
no
say
one
that.
in the pipeline right now that I'm just like, okay, cool, you're texting me, cool.
I was literally gonna say that. I was like, I'm like literally just bored and like I have
Depends
nothing
on my
else to
level
do.
of
So of
boredom.
course I would entertain
Yeah.
it. Like what else am I doing?
Exactly. Okay.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, then that answers my own question that I already answered for myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll entertain actually anyone.
You're like, I just need someone to take my anger out on.
That, and then like I love, obviously constant validation is a huge plus, but like especially when I'm like dating a man and I like don't really care about him, when I'm needing validation, I'll literally text him and be like, I need you to compliment me, and then they'll usually give me a lame ass compliment, and then I say you can do better, and then they give me a really good compliment, and then I feel good, and then I'm like, okay, you like have served your purpose, like all
Thank you.
good. And
We'll circle back
having
tomorrow.
exactly like
Hmm.
having like access to that type of like validation on a regular basis is really good for me.
You know what I've been on the receiving end of recently?
Tell me.
Being ghosted. Well, it's just been by two people in particular.
You were ghosted twice.
Well, okay, one of them, who you know, the most recent, I'm just like, how do you go from like going a
Can you
hundred?
explain the situation?
So basically, I was talking to this guy. He like asked to like date exclusively, and I was like, the word boyfriend is like a trigger word. I don't want to do that. Like that, I can't. But like, yeah, like,
You being Gen Z, you're like, that's a trigger word.
but it literally is for me.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that. But then I was like, we can like properly date. Like, I'm down for that. Like, let's see where this goes. But I'm also like, this is like way too soon. And then we had dinner. It was great. Whatever. I thought we were on the same page. Like, I thought we kind of cleared it up on like what our standards were of where we were at.
Let's be clear that like this man was like kind of pursuing you too. Like he was the one that was
Yeah,
initiating the conversations.
initiating
Like
all of it, and
he
I
was
was
sharing
like,
his feelings. Like he was the one that was like, let's like maybe
yeah,
think about locking this down.
and I was like, I was just going along with it because I think he's a really great guy, and I was like, okay, this is somebody that I would actually be in a relationship with.
For sure.
And long story short, we had that conversation. Like 2 days go by, it's like the conversation's so dry and so awkward, and then I text him like on the third day, and I'm like, okay,
On the
there's
third day, he rose again.
literally, I'm like, there's been a huge shift in energy. Like, what's going on? Like, tell me what it is. And he was just like, I'm just like really thrown off by our conversation. And I'm like, okay, the conversation that you initiated, that
Yeah.
like I
About
thought
like,
we were on the same page about. I was like, it's very black and white for me. Like, we already went over it. And he was like, okay, yeah, just be patient with me. Like, da 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 da. And like, haven't heard a peep from him in literally a week. And I texted him a couple days ago because he's on vacation. I was like, hey, how's your trip?
where is he on vacation? Is it like tropical or like you don't even want to say that much?
What if he listens? He knows. Well, he's gonna
He
know.
doesn't fucking
He's in
listen.
Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii. Hawaii.
You could have just
Hawaii.
said it was tropical,
No,
but he
yeah, he's
doesn't
in a
fucking
tropical
listen.
location with his family.
Slay.
And I'm like, okay, you're like literally reading a book by the beach.
You're like, why aren't you
You can
texting
like
me?
send me a dick picture in the morning like you usually do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Good
So
morning.
so whatever. I texted him like, how's your trip? Fell flat, and I'm just like, goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
So I not that I like, again, I'm losing sleep over this person because I'm
Wait, so he just didn't respond, or he
no, no,
did, and
he
it was like,
responded, and then he asked me something, and then I responded, and then he replied, and then I didn't text him back because I was just like, this conversation is just awkward, and we both know it. And
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know what's shifted for you, but I don't understand how you can go from pursuing someone so hard to just not.
yeah,
And
like
and
literally from one extreme to the
and I don't
next.
take it personally because like I've done that before, and I'm like, I probably would have ghosted this person at some point. You know
Right.
what I mean? But I just think it's super fucking weird, and I'm just like, I need to know like the real reason. I'm like, what is the real reason? Because there's not truth being told to some degree.
Mm-hmm. Do you think like it's another guy? Do you think it's
I
maybe
don't
he's just
know.
like mentally a piece of shit? Is he maybe the type of person that like kind of wants something he can't have?
I really don't know him well enough to even draw a conclusion on what it
That
is,
is
which is the
so
interesting thing.
crazy.
I'm like, I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I'm just like, but I want to know what it
What it is.
is.
You don't
Yeah.
care what it is, but you want to know
I
what
do
it
not
is.
care what the reason is, but I need to know.
Right.
Just because I'm like, what would cause someone to flip a switch?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good for him.
That's like one
I'm
thing
also kind
that,
of like waiting for him to get back into town to like say something, because he
yeah,
was like, "Oh, let's do like a nice dinner when I'm back," and I'm like, "No, I'm like, I don't need to do that."
he said that like before
Mm-hmm.
he went on
Before he
this
left,
trip,
yeah.
and like, yeah.
And then okay, so out of the 500 guys that I've talked to while I've been single, this other guy, like, we kind of like, it was like a mutual ghost. Like I was like, I don't know where this is going. I'm kind of like, this isn't probably gonna work, but whatever.
Wait, are we talking about the Instagram baddie?
The one who texted me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give people nicknames so they
Okay.
don't get
Okay.
confused. I want to provide more context because you're really bad at that sometimes. So this person, the Instagram baddie, him and Chris were kind of like seeing each other like very casually, and they made plans to hang
And he
out.
would have to like reconfirm 3 or 4 times, be like, "You're not gonna flake on me. You're not." And I'm like, "Dude,
Like he
what?"
was like very clearly like very anxious that Chris was like gonna abandon him. Like some very serious like
Well, he
abandonment
was
issues
right.
shining through. He was being like a little crazy, and I told Chris, I was like, "Okay, what is he so anxious about? Like my god." And then what did he do?
Like, kind of goes radio
He
silent.
literally like ghosted Chris after
Yeah.
being so anxious about Chris doing that to him. Like it was
Yeah.
so weird. And they had like also, you guys had hung out like once or twice.
I think we hung out like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you guys still were like hardly knew each
Like,
other.
didn't ever go out in public. Like, I think he just came over 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
and like we hung out and it was chill and fun, whatever. And yeah, just went silent. And then he
So weird.
literally texted me yesterday and he goes, "Circling back." And I was kind of like, I'm just like, "Hey babe." Like, I don't
You're
like, I
bored.
yeah,
You
but I was
mean
like,
literally
me too. I was
bored.
like, let's circle back, girl. Like, what's up? But I thought that that was funny.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, I'm just
Except
like,
for like he's obviously okay, that was weird for him to do that, but like if we're not like emotionally invested in it, then like who cares? Like let's be
exactly.
bored and entertain each other.
Exactly. And then he like obviously kind of felt obligated to give me some kind of explanation on like where he's been for the past 3 months, which I like
Okay.
didn't ask. And
But
he
he should give you
yeah, and he
one
was
because
like,
we're
"I'm sorry,
nosy.
like I got like wrapped up in something, and like I just wanted to let you know that like I really like hanging out with you and blah 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 blah
So he
blah."
got wrapped up in another guy's
And,
dick.
and I was like, "Okay, what did you get wrapped up in?" Yeah, another guy's dick, like
Yeah.
work stuff, like family stuff, like
Totally
I
another
know he's
guy.
like moving, and I was like, "That's fine. I'm glad you made it out alive." Like the timing wasn't great for me last time either, which like it wasn't. I was just
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Like still isn't, but like
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
when is the timing right? It's never gonna be
Never.
right. But
And who cares?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I just think it's funny. I don't know. It's fun being ghosted. I want more people to ghost me. I'm hot because
That's
people are
actually
ghosting me.
that's actually
I'm like, please do it for me so I don't have to do it.
it's actually my biggest fear. I hate being ghosted if I like somebody, but it's so rare for me to like
And I
somebody.
feel like these two guys have been like the top contenders out of everyone that I've met. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
am I just saying that because they've ghosted me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But also, you could put the most perfect person in front of me, and I would be like, okay, how does this fit into my life? Because it doesn't in any way.
No.
I'm just bored.
No. Same.
But I thought it was funny. I'm like, okay, one person left, and now this other one's like coming back in.
Yeah, they're taking their turns,
Hmm.
and you're just never gonna be bored, and that's perfect.
I know, and I'm like, this is kind of perfect.
Yeah, like a little
I'm like, then
cycle.
one will cycle out.
Yeah.
But I need to figure out how I'm going to navigate this other person when he comes back from his tropical extravaganza.
Yeah.
And I need to figure out if I'm going to like rip him a new one or if I'm going to be like, I don't care.
We talked about this before we started recording a little bit, and I told Chris that like he's a little nosy and like kind of wants answers, not because he needs them, but because he just is nosy.
Me?
Yeah. And yes, I'm talking
I'm
about
like,
you.
wait, him? Is he nosy?
No. Anyway, and so I told Chris I think he should rip him a new one because at this point, what does he have to lose? And
I'm just
also
like,
that behavior, like if you were more emotionally invested in
exactly.
it, that could
And
have
like,
been detrimental.
God forbid I was actually like banking on this person to fulfill whatever emotional, whatever, hole that I needed filled.
Oh.
That came out wrong. Whatever hole I needed filled, if I
Chris
was like,
needs his holes
if I
filled.
was like banking on him for that, like, I would be in some serious trouble. Like, I would be like
Yeah.
distraught, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm not. So I'm like, is this even, do I even have the energy? But I'm like, we'll see how bored I am by the end of this week. We'll see how much energy I have and how much anger I need to take out on someone.
I'm obsessed.
I just think it's fucking weird.
I feel a little jealous. I need a new cycle.
I don't even have a cycle.
You
If the
do.
Instagram baddie didn't come into the cycle, there would be no
Yeah,
cycle.
but then you would find a new one
I have been really not
on Grinder.
honest on a, I have not been, I feel like it's been like 2 months since I've had 3 months since I've had a person enter the chat.
My problem is that I've been matching with everybody and their mothers on dating apps, but then like after we match, I like don't check the app again, and then like I forget about them. And I'm like, I want to go out on dates and I want to meet new people, but I'm like,
You know what I want to talk about? Continue. I'm going to pull up the receipts.
I want to go out on dates and I want to meet new people, but I'm like, I don't have the time or the mental space for that right now. And I'm like seeing someone, we've been seeing each other like pretty consistently for a while, as you guys all know. And I'm like, I just like don't, I'm bored of the idea of like having to start from the beginning with somebody
Me
again,
too.
you know?
That's
But
how I'm
like,
kind of, that's
it's
why
not
I'm
like I'm like
like,
in a committed relationship and I'm like, oh, I don't want to break up with this person because I don't want to start all over. It's like literally I'm just like I'm so single, but I'm being so lazy that I'm like I want the entertainment, but I'm also too lazy to go out and find it, you know?
we need to get back into the game.
I think we should start doing double dates.
Cedar, these people would kill themselves. Okay, I want to tell you guys about someone who messaged me on Christmas on Hinge. So obviously I'm like at my parents'
Oh
house
my
for one
God.
day,
Let me have your vape.
for one day on, and I'm like literally like hungover in bed, like on Hinge, just like bored. Like, okay, what other app? Like I've exhausted myself from everything else. This guy likes my profile. I like him back, which was me being generous. Messages me like 4 minutes later. This is him. He goes, when you match with someone, it's a good idea to actually say hello with the person you match with. That's the point of this dating app. Brain emoji thumbs up. And then I respond to him sarcastically, looks like we're off to a great start. Merry Christmas. He says clearly, and then another message, gaslighting isn't a cute look either. Peace emoji. And I'm like, okay, you have brain damage. This is legitimately Hinge. Like, why are you taking this so
And like in
seriously?
your first 3 messages.
Hold on. I go, one, did it ever occur to you that it's Christmas and I'm spending time with my family and that I don't need to immediately message someone as soon as I match with them? Two, are you on here strictly to pick fights with people that you don't know? Three, you should look up the definition of gaslighting before throwing it out as a trigger word. There's a difference between gaslighting and sarcasm. Maybe you should reevaluate your intentions for this app and seek therapy for whatever it is that's caused you to be so hostile. Clearly, you don't know the point of this app. And then he obviously blocked me. But I was like,
Good fucking riddance, you weirdo. Like what the
I
fuck?
was like, and this guy is like a prominent, I can show you his Instagram later. Like he's like some like Hollywood fucking hairstylist, always gay, problematic,
Mm-hmm.
terrible, worst people in the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, why are you coming at me? It's Christmas. Like it is Christmas Day. Like, why are you saying, how am I gaslighting you? I said, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you literally were just like, okay,
I was trying to
like
like diffuse the situation and like give him
you
another shot.
sarcastically were like, haha, like, okay, Merry
Like
Christmas,
I
off to
went
a
the
good
fuck off
start.
on this person because I was like, who are you to tell me how to live my life and who do you make the fucking Hinge rules? Like why are
Yeah,
you telling me when I need to respond to you and
yeah.
when I need to message you? I'm like, I know how it works and I will fucking message you when I want to.
But also, like, I match with people on Hinge all the time.
I
Like,
have
they'll
never
like me first and I'll match with them. And then I don't message them. I just wait for them to message me because I don't fucking care.
exactly.
But, like,
I'm like, are you trying to like run to the altar right now? I'm like, what the fuck is your
he's
problem? You're weird.
sprinting.
Like that is weird. Like why are you telling me how to do
No,
something?
that is weird
Like
as
I literally
fuck.
wanted to be like, don't
This
ever
man is
tell
a
me what to do.
psychopath.
Like don't tell me what to do.
I would be so scared if that's how he's acting upon first impression. I would be so
I
scared to
like
see how
want
this
to
man
meet
is
this
6 months
person. I
into a
need to meet him
relationship.
in person and be like, you're weird.
You are fucking weird.
You're
You need
weird.
therapy. Like,
There were so many other
so
things that I wanted to
weird.
say. I forgot that that happened, but I was just like, what? I was like, I beg your fucking pardon. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to respond to you No, I don't need to message you right away.
No, I'll
I was
message
like,
you when I want to fucking
and
message
if you are
you.
messaging everyone that you match with immediately, like you have too much time on your fucking
Why
hands,
are you, yeah, why
loser.
do you have so much fucking time? Like, can you relax and like maybe go spend, because this was literally on Christmas Day, wasn't it?
It was like noon on Christmas
Yeah,
Day.
like go hang out with your family, you fucking weirdo.
I
He
was
probably doesn't
like,
have any, and that's why he's so bitter and angry.
I was like, and I really wanted him to respond. I was so bored, and I was just picking a fight with him. I was
No,
like,
he picked the fight with you. You just weren't standing for
no,
it.
and I was like, what do you want me to say to this?
Yeah. Weirdo. Like
So
he's so
gross,
weird.
disgusting.
In our last episode, we talked about how I've had some experiences with seeking arrangements. And I think as time goes on, some of the stories from seeking arrangements will eventually flow out naturally throughout the course of this podcast. But what happened to you on Hinge actually reminds me of something that has happened to me on seeking arrangements before. And I was literally like 18 years old living in a dorm in college and had just downloaded it for the first time and was messaging with some weirdo that lived in like fucking Philly or something like that. And we were like messaging and he was like cute and young. And so that's why I was like entertaining it. And he asked me after we messaged back and forth a little bit, like not a significant amount, but a little bit. He asked if he could fly me out. And I was like, yeah, like I'm not really sure about that. Like I'm trying to be cautious, blah, 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 blah. And
Like you're the first person I've ever talked to on this app. I'm barely legal, and I don't want to get on an airplane to go get murdered by you.
to somebody that I've never texted with, I've never had a
Mm-hmm.
phone call with, I've never had a FaceTime
Like
with.
send me a $2,000, and then I'll trust you to get onto a flight.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, yeah, like I'm not exactly sure about that yet. Maybe we should get to know each other a little better. Like I'm just trying to be careful, blah, 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 blah. And he went the fuck off on me. And he was like, you're so fucking ignorant. Like people who get kidnapped or like sold into sex trafficking are like people who like don't have family and don't have people that care about them and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, literally went off on me because apparently it was irrational for me as an 18-year-old girl to be concerned about my safety flying across the fucking country to meet a man that I met off the fucking internet. But like he literally went off on me. I remember it being the most insane experience because I was like, what is wrong with this man? And I've actually
Did you
had,
reply to him?
I think I did. And like there was like a whole argument and I don't remember how it ended up, but like obviously we like never spoke again. 'Cause,
You're like, I got on that plane that night.
he's a fucking weirdo. Like you're a lunatic. And I had a photographer do that to me once before too. It was also when I was living in Colorado and this man like reached out to me and just wanted to shoot for fun together. And I was like, yeah, I could be down, but like, can I bring a friend with? And he was like, why do you need to do that? And I was like, well, because I don't know you and like I'm gonna show up and like do a shoot with you. Like I should probably have somebody with me if I'm meeting a stranger from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And same situation, he went off on me and was like, that's so fucking rude for you to think that like I would do something to you. Like literally lost his fucking mind. And I was like, clearly there's a fucking loose screw here. And clearly my intuition was right by not
Yeah,
showing up and like being
exactly.
alone with you, you fucking weirdo. And he went on to tell me I'm not even pretty enough to like have to worry about that. Literally like the most insane, unhinged shit. And I
What a
know that I
crazy
do still have
bitch.
those messages somewhere, but like men like that, I'm like, you are a danger to society and you need to be locked away. And that man that messaged you on Hinge is giving like literally that exact same energy.
Ugh, well, we love crazies.
They're fun entertainment for like a minute over social media or whatever, but I'm like, thank you so much for showing your true colors right off the bat, you fucking
Crazy.
weirdo, because like
Fucking weird.
someone like that would literally destroy your entire life.
1000%.
Like that's actually scary behavior. So as fun as it is being single, sometimes it's fucking not when you have to deal with weirdos like that. Jesus Christ.
I need more of those in my life. The passion's kind of hot.
Maybe a little bit. That's kind of how I felt about Saltburn.
Okay, I need to watch that. Maybe I'll do that today.
You need to watch it.
Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else to talk about?
No, but let's try and wrap it up because we always turn it into a 10-minute wrap up.
Maybe we should make it our mission for like the next couple of weeks to like get out there and add some new characters into the dynamic. I actually won't be able to do that because
I
I'm leaving town, but
I won't be able to do that either because you know what I kind of want to do?
what?
Sober January.
Sober July.
What is it called? No drink January, dry
Dry
July, dry
January.
January. Why do I keep saying July? I'm fucking stupid. Dry January. Should I do that?
Why?
I've been binge drinking for a month. I haven't gone to the gym in a month.
No. No, don't do that.
We'll see.
I
Maybe
would
I'll do it while
actually,
you're gone
I
because I
would,
won't have anyone to go out with because I have no friends.
right. It's not like you and I even go out together
That's
anyway.
true.
I would actually consider participating except for the fact that like I'm going to be out of town and I will want to be drinking while I'm away.
The
Like
entire
heavily.
time.
Like heavily.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Sorry, we're keeping this episode short because we're obviously all very brain dead after the holidays and we don't need to bore you with us just saying words to fill the time. So
Exactly.
enjoy a short episode this week and thanks for coming
It's
along
not even
with
short. It's just
us.
an appropriate time. An appropriate
Imagine
length.
us recording an appropriate length episode. Insane. We've never done that before. Remember when we first started recording, they'd
And
be
they
like
were like an hour and a half, and we'd be like, okay, that sounds good enough.
and now we're like 12 minutes in and we're looking at each other like, what the fuck?
The clock's a ticking, mama.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so actually I'm gonna suggest everybody this week to microdose mushrooms because that's really fun. Can I tell them what happened to me last night on New Year's?
Uh-huh.
As we mentioned, I had like a really chill night in last night while I was like microdosing mushrooms and watching movies and whatever. And I had tried these mushroom chocolates that I had already. And I took a little bit more than I took the first time because I didn't feel anything the first time. And I took literally a quarter of the recommended dose for a microdose. And I took it as soon as I got home from work and I like picked up my apartment and I sat down to watch a movie and I was like, I need John and Vinny's immediately. So I ordered for pickup from John and Vinny's because I'm a cheap bitch and I didn't want to pay for delivery fees, especially not on New Year's Eve. And I order pickup from John and Vinny's. I get in my car to go pick it up. And this is like an appropriate 45 minutes after I took these mushrooms. And I wasn't feeling anything. And I was like, slay. So I get in my car. And first of all, it's an 8-minute drive. And I'm about 5 minutes into the drive. And I'm like, I have been driving this car for 12 hours. Like, I'm road tripping to Arizona right now. This is the longest drive of my life. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I am much higher than I expected to be. And I ate half of a chocolate square, like half of a chocolate square, not even a bar, a square. And then I'm driving down Wilshire. If you live in LA, you know I'm driving down Wilshire Boulevard toward Beverly Hills. And like, you know, where what's the name of that hotel there on the corner of Wilshire and
The Waldorf.
is it the Wald where they have like the trees? So they have the trees wrapped with like Christmas lights and stuff, and they are stunning. And I'm like noticing the lights for the first time in my life, and I'm
like,
looking at them and I'm like,
sobbing.
that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And I'm like losing my mind over these lights, and then I realized I was like, I should not be operating heavy machinery at this moment. Like this
so
is
good.
And I was actually so concerned because I don't even have car insurance right now. Let's just
What was
remind
your
everybody
trip like
of
when you
that.
walked into John and Vinny's?
It was just like get in and get out, but they have a takeout window. So you just walk up to the window, you show them your phone. It was like in and out
You're like,
so
"I gotta
fast.
go."
Literally sprinting back to my car. I was actually so concerned that I was too high to drive home. I debated parking my car and taking an Uber home because I was like, I cannot be driving. Anyway, I made it home. All was fine and well. I watched Saltburn and had just like the cutest little New Year's Eve by myself.
I love that.
So anyway, microdose mushrooms, but don't drive your car.
My advice for you this week is get into a fight with someone on a dating app.
Fight a stranger on the internet.
Please.
That's the best advice
It's kind
anyone
of fun.
could give.
Like I don't ever do that. I don't ever take on that like identity.
Mm-hmm.
But when this guy came at me, I was like, "Oh, bitch,
Yeah.
you're messing with the wrong one today."
I actually made a rule the other day when it comes to fighting with strangers on the internet because Chris and I get really mean comments on our videos sometimes, like really mean. And someone commented something mean, and then so I commented something mean and sassy back, but like not like fighting, just like a shady little comment. And then we put it to bed, right? this person commented back again. And I decided that I think like an unspoken rule that I'm going to make spoken about fighting with strangers on the internet is you're allowed one comment. You're allowed one comment, and if that person comments back, you don't get to comment again.
You're a loser if you comment again.
That's when it crosses the line from like being cunty and funny to being a loser that
A
fights with
troll.
people in
A
comments on
troll.
the internet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so pick a fight with somebody on the internet,
If it's in a
but
public space, just leave one comment.
only allowed one comment. Okay, Slay, do all of that this week. Follow us on socials, Hot and Bothered the Pod. Leave us a review. Suck our dicks.
All of the above.
Yeah, Slay. Love you guys.
Love you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Mwah.